What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast Festive Edition, I guess. Right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I am your host, as always, your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host, she the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, and I guess the Queen of Christmas, because she always seems to be more decorative than I am.
Yes.
Tiffany!
Well, you know, like I love the holidays, obviously, and like Kyle thought I had a black eye because I decided to do one red, one green, and
That
like
threw me off so much. So when me and Tiffany got on Zoom, give you guys an idea. So I have two monitors in front of me. I got like the Zoom and OBS on one end and then everything else on the other end. So I'm looking at the other end. I connected the call and I see Tiff making sure she's there, and I kind of do like the double look going, what the fuck, does she have a black eye? No, sure enough, she just has one red and one green. So it threw me right off. I'm like, okay, what's the story now? Did you fall down? You hit your eye on a railing?
Really trying to get into wrestling, Kyle. Like I hit with a light tube, you know, like these things happen,
the light tube.
I don't know. I just was really curious, and you know, I was with our girl Casey yesterday, and I took a light tube. No.
Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All Elite Podcast, where myself and Tiffany talk about everything in the AEW world. If you are new, welcome. If you are a returning listener or watcher, if you're watching the video versions of these podcasts, thank you very much for watching live, rewatching, downloading the episode on audio. You audio listeners are my favorite, you know, not more favorite than everyone else, but you're my faves. Thank you for downloading. Here to talk some AEW, and again, if you're watching the video version, you can see we're very festive here on the podcast. We had a whole month in October dedicated to Halloween. This month, we're all dedicated to Christmas. As you saw, we had the Christmas intro. I have the outro already made. We're going to have different layouts. It's not going to be the layout for the whole month. I made 2 or 3 more, so it'll be a different one every week. But we like to keep things festive here. You know, we like to keep things positive, happy. You know, Christmas is a good time. It's a fun time. And so is AEW lately. It's been a fun time.
AEW.
So, yeah.
You know, how come it's like, I mean, I love it that he gets like the layouts and stuff and he goes very festive, but I know Kyle loves, I mean, I get it, his background there, but like you don't have any shirts, Kyle, like, or something.
See,
like,
look, I got a stocking, I got a Santa hat, I got the Santa blanket, or the I don't know what those are over there, and I got the Santa statue. You know, I'm pretty festive back here. You got Yoda over there barely holding on to his gift. I'm festive, okay? What do you want me to do? You want me to dress like Santa and come on here?
Oh my God, please.
No, not doing that.
Please? Oh my God, does everybody remember Kyle Claus from like the NXT review days that Kyle used to do?
No one remembers that.
Oh my God, yes, that was
we had like
thing.
5 listeners back then. The 5 people that don't listen anymore are not even here.
That's not true. Keep the girls in the chat right now.
Okay, well, I don't remember that, and I was there.
Yeah, I took a picture of you of like you were holding Intercontinental belt, and I drew a beard on the picture, and then I drew a little Santa Claus hat, and then I started calling you Kyle Claus.
Well, that's not very nice. I don't remember this.
Damn it, Kyle! That's like
rude.
What 10 years on you, and you don't remember? Like, what is wrong with your head? Did you get dropped on your head?
Whoa! And you want me to do this whole Abaddon thing, and you're already rude to me.
Listen, okay, so we're jumping into this, right? Because like I have a bone to pick with.
I mean, we don't have to. There's more important things to talk about here.
No, this is very important because it's dedicated to our fans out there. Okay, last week, all right, let's get into this shit right now because now I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna rant and I'm just gonna go and like I'm really annoyed at you.
I'll sit back. Go ahead.
Really, yeah, you sit back, all right? Because last week on the episode, you sat there and we were talking about Abaddon and how scared you were to meet her, and I said that I would pay when things got better for the meet and greet, that we could go to something together and that you must meet her. It's like a must. And you said, if I could get 100 signatures by the end of the month, the 31st,
I think I said end of the week.
Not there by January 1st, that it wasn't happening. So look, it took a whole week, not even a week, and I got 100 signatures. And you're gonna sit here and tell me that you're not gonna meet her, and you're gonna do that, and then you try to change the freaking stipulation for this shit?
There was some fine print you missed.
There is no fine print. It's clipped. Even if you delete last week's episode, it doesn't matter. I have it. I clipped it. It's on Twitter. It's into the clouds. It doesn't matter. You said it. You can't go back on your word.
Okay, I'll speak to my lawyers, and then we'll have a future
no
conversation.
Lawyers or whatever like that. Don't give me that.
No, I'm getting some lawyers involved. And we're gonna have a future conversation in the new year. We may have to push it to March break-ish, or Easter kind of seems like a nice time we could probably meet.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. No.
I like that stipulation, though. That's pretty good. If she can sign the petition, we can leave it there.
No, you can't be changing things. This was said last week.
But that'd be pretty cool. If she signs it, then, I'll be like, hey.
That doesn't matter. That was not part of the stipulation last week. You can't go sit here and get the 100 signatures and then change the stipulation. You already said, if I can get 100 signatures, then you'll meet her.
Hey, I don't sound like that, Kay.
All right,
That's...
Okay.
You're making fun of people who actually sound like that. It's not very nice.
Listen, you're not very nice. How are you going to do that to our fans out there?
What fans?
Wow, that's just rude, okay?
I'm
rude. 100 signatures.
You just made fun of someone and went, man, there's people actually talk like that out there. How dare you?
Subject, okay? We are talking about very important things here on the podcast, and I got the 100 signatures, and okay, so you can't turn around and go back on your promise on the podcast. It's clipped, it's there, it's in the clouds on social media. Don't you dare, and you can't even delete it, because like I said, I have the episode downloaded into my computer. I have the clip on Twitter on my personal page. Okay, it's there.
Okay,
it's in the clouds. Okay, you can't.
Fine.
Can't change anything. It has to happen. Whenever we go back to norm and we go to a show and we do a meet and greet, you can't change it. There is no fine print. There is no lawyer. I'm the damn lawyer. And I think you would piss the fans off that you going back on your word.
That's okay. Bye-bye.
Well, I guess I'm taking over the Oli podcast.
No, you're not.
Leaving the No Holds Barred Network. Okay, I'm taking over. I'm gonna
why are you making me do this? Like,
what do you mean?
This is mean.
On the podcast, I've done crazy stuff for the podcast.
I just didn't think we would get that many signatures that quick.
Well, hello. See, this is.
I should have said 1,000. I should have said 1,000.
This is when it goes. Well, too bad, because you already said it and you should have known.
I actually said 1,000. There was an extra zero.
This is classic Kyle, right? Classic Kyle. I've been working with Kyle for years, and even to this day, Kyle never believes me. He never trusts me. This is what it always comes back down to.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well, you know what? You're not very nice right now. Okay,
you're making me do something I don't want to do. That's not very nice.
Listen, she's probably a really nice lady.
She probably is, but I don't want to meet her.
You're meeting her. I will drag you. I feel like that's what's gonna wind up happening, is that whoever is gonna be with Kyle, like Phil, will probably be with us, or Mrs. Masters will be with us, and she's gonna have to be holding the camera, because I'm gonna be dragging Kyle. I see him.
Fine. I'll walk by, I'll wave, and then I run. That's meeting her.
No. You have to meet her.
Okay, how close? How close do I gotta be?
6 feet. 6 feet.
Bro, no, I don't want her dripping blood on me.
You have to take a picture. It's not just pictures, guys. There's gonna be video as well. So you have to meet her. It's just like everybody else that we've met. We hung out. We've talked to Brandon Cutler.
Fine. Fine.
I feel better now. Rant over.
Guarantee you'll forget by the time this happens.
Yeah.
Oh, see, don't blame me in the chat saying, we're supposed to be live at 7. See, I can talk like that too.
That's because you put out the tweet, and I told you yesterday that I wanted
to be sick. No.
You screwed up.
Anywho, Rihu, enough talking about the rambling, jambling nonsense about stuff that's not going to happen. Anyways, let's talk about AEW.
Okay.
Gotta talk about Dynamite. A few things off the bat. We got a dress. They gotta stop with the fake crowd noise. I'm sorry. I want to be as positive as we can in this podcast. As you guys know, we always try to be as positive as we can. I can't do it. The fake crowd noise is way too much, and I don't mind it, fake crowd noise, if it's done the proper way. But the way they do it, it's it's overkill sometimes, and it's distracting. I saw a lot of people tweet at me saying how distracting it was, and it takes away, right? Right. Sometimes it's overkill, and it's it doesn't match sometimes. Like sometimes like something will be said, like they'll implement the fake crowd noise during a promo, and something will be said, and the fake crowd noise they put is like, oh, and I'm like, that really wasn't that crazy what they said. So they're a little bit overkill on it. I think they got to kind of tone it down. I know that obviously there's going to be some Dynamites where I know they have fans there, but they're not going to have, enough people there. Those times you don't need to have fake crowd noise. You can go with whatever the noise they have there, like they used to do. Remember when there was no fans? They didn't have to put fake crowd noise. I was fine watching what I was watching without it.
Right.
I think they're just getting a little bit too carried away with that, and I think that's something they kind of need to fix a little bit, because I know it wasn't the only one that kind of made sense to what I'm trying to say here. Like it took a lot out of it, and it was overpowering at times. So hopefully they fix that. I know it's tough. Maybe it's tough like during Dynamite. I don't know, but hopefully someone's watching back and giving feedback to whatever department that is that's controlling that. So it is what it is. What it is. How do you feel about your boys, the Acclaimed? They're getting like primed. Like they're going right into it. Like they're coming into AEW and going and shooting right for the Young Bucks.
Well deserved. Like again, these are people that I've seen in the indie scene, and I'm a fan. So, but why not? But this is something that I've been saying is that yes, right? Like we were talking about this before with partnering with, that we saw like stuff with Thunder Rosa and NWA Championship, and then now we're seeing things with Impact, which is great, and I'm all for. But it's like, do not forget about all the other people you signed, and that was like my biggest little pet peeve. I felt like is like, just don't forget your roster as well, and it's great to have these partnerships, and it's absolutely amazing. But again, don't forget it. So
I saw rumors saying that Tony Khan is going to buy Impact.
Oh, I've seen like a whole bunch of things.
Can you imagine?
All over the place.
That's tough though. If he buys Impact, that means like your roster is like really big.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have like 3 shows. Like that's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah. But it's nice. Like, you're right. Didn't we say this like over a year ago? Like even, before we were on television, like we had talked about things being crossed over. That would be great. Like, or even that you and me, we said, oh, how cool would it be like once a year, kind of like a G1, like we have a super card that like AEW like 1 year against like Impact, as a pay-per-view, or maybe the next year we have AEW versus Ring of Honor. And I think it would bring like a lot of eyes, and it's working together, and it would really cross over a lot of people. And I'm sure Kenny being on Impact was great this week, because they had like the most views even like on Twitch, and I think it was like 40,000 people were in the chat. I think I saw at one point, and we were in Queen of NE. Shout out to you, girl, love you so much. We were in the chat. She did a Google Hangout, and we were all in the chat like talking about it, and it's great because like I know some people of Impact, and I don't follow it to a T, but I know like a bunch of people that do work there, so it was kind of cool. It is a great way to have that crossover and maybe get new fans to go over there. So I love that idea.
Yeah, I can totally see. I could actually see both. I can see 2. Like I can see a pay-per-view or an event where AEW runs that includes Impact, and then I can see Impact running an event that includes AEW.
Right.
They can do 2, and it can be shown on each of their networks. If the rumors aren't true that, Tony Khan is purchasing Impact, Impact's going to become AEW's second show, and, they're going to keep, obviously, the roster that's there, and they're going to bring over, some of the over spill from the regular AEW roster over to Impact. I mean, even then, I wouldn't mind that. I still think that would be sweet. I mean, the roster that AEW has currently right now is really good, especially their women's division. So if you say if Tony Khan purchased Impact, you have them already to go for the second show, just, be rebranded as AEW Impact. And then you bring over, people from Dark that they really like, and, people that are on the main roster are not necessarily getting enough time on Dynamite. I think it would be cool if that were to happen. But either way, I think that both sides of the coin are amazing, and this partnership is going to be, I think, going to be a very good idea. We saw an Impact like how much teasing they were doing, like like Kenny mentioning that he's going to be a belt collector. What does that mean? Is he going to be going after Swan? Is he going to be going after Moose? Like, what's the deal there?
The possibilities
The
that
possibilities are endless here.
and what I like also is what a lot of the independent scene a lot of the impact stars that we had seen, and maybe a lot you guys aren't familiar with, like Chris Bay. Like Kyle didn't know who Chris Bay was, but Kyle knew I was a big fan of Chris Bay. But like I see Chris Bay, like we just saw him against Jordan Oliver at GCW a couple days ago, uh which was great. So it's kind of nice to see also, like, even though they're signed with Impact, that you actually see them float over to other companies in the independent scene, or even Ace Austin, who I'm a huge fan of, that he's always popping up at Synergy, which you guys know I support on the channel, like very big on, and I do a lot of stuff at Synergy on the No Holds Barred network as well. So maybe you'll see these familiar faces that, like, you'll see clips that I'm posting on Indie Talks, and have them on Under the Ropes as well. And then, like, to how cool is that across platform? And it's not even so much about like taking down WWE, but like I always say, it's so hard to keep up with all the talent that's out there. Even like me just living in New York, it's just like impossible, like with all the wrestling besides the States and Canada, Mexico, or outside. Like our girl Maria, like she was sending me pictures, she went to an independent show in Denmark. It's like impossible to know everybody. So it's just a great way to get more names out, I feel like, to other mixed promotions. So I think this is just huge.
Yeah, I learned a lot even from watching Impact this week, because I was not really familiar with Impact. Like, I knew about it, I knew about certain stars, but I hadn't actually sat there and watched a full episode of Impact in who knows how long. So I got to learn some people that I never knew were there and what they are all about. Like, right off the bat, I've heard of the North, but like I looked more into them. They look really cool. I think of them, and Revival would be an insane, or FTR would be an insane match. I love the whole the women's match that they had, and Rosemary kind of like, see, Rosemary is like a tall. I'm not scared of Rosemary. She's tolerable, okay? Like, that's like the point where I get to where I'm okay with. After that, none of that. So when Rosemary's like the line, okay? I like that. I like that. That whole match was pretty good. So I mean, I enjoyed Impact too. I mean, a lot of people, you guys in the chat were going nuts. But whenever like they had a commercial break on Twitch, they would show like an old school moment, and I like that. I really like that.
It's good because people that don't know Impact, it's great to be like, oh wow, Kazarian worked there, or so it was kind of cool. I feel like for maybe who some of the fans that are like I'm just using example, like most people know WWE, right, and nothing else than WWE, and now we have like AEW. Now it's more of a bigger platform of like AEW because we're seeing it on TV. But again, like someone who me is very familiar with the independent scene knows a lot more, but maybe you didn't know that this person worked in Impact. So that was kind of cool. And I liked also when we were doing the Google Hangout chat is if we were like asking questions in the chat, like if we didn't know who somebody was in Impact and we were just sitting there having a conversation, okay, I don't know this person, can you give me a little bit of background? So that was really fun too, that I found in our Google Hangout with Queen the other day. So it's really like knowledge is power, and again, we don't know where this is going.
Yeah, because
So
like Kenny's part in Impact was literally almost identical to what he said on Dynamite. So like, I was expecting more, because he said, oh, there's going to be another surprise on Dynamite, what he said on Impact. And we got to Dynamite, and it was basically almost word for word about what they said, which I know. I want to know where that's going. I can't really tell where the direction is leading to. Who's going to be maybe Kenny's first feud with. It's tough to see. We'll have to see. Maybe something else happens next week. I mean, they didn't really say anything. We don't even know if Kenny's going to reappear on Impact next week, or maybe another AEW star reappears on Impact. We'll see how it goes. But I love that Kenny's like in full cleaner mode now. Like, I wore like the Street Fighter cleaner shirt today just for that. He's got the locks going. He's he's doing like Don Callis made him do the signature sign off, which is amazing. So I was marking out huge when I seen that.
And it works out perfect because Cupid Girl brought it in the chat. She goes, I think a lot of eyes should look at Final Resolution on Saturday because I feel like Kenny's going to make his announcement then. So, but even still, it is a good way. But like, oh, hey guys, like, you all tuned
Someone's
in
going to tease.
But even that's cool too because, maybe, what you saw Tuesday, it kind of intrigued you, like, oh, I'm really interested. Oh, they have a pay-per-view going on Saturday. Let me check this out. And it is the perfect way to get those eyes and to get the views. And it's like, oh shit, Kenny showed up, or even if not, like to
They would need
like
to have a tease. They would have to have someone tweet like Final Resolution or like tweet at someone saying they're going to keep their eye on them Saturday, something that's going to draw people to go and buy the pay-per-view. Because what you said is right, correct. Like, there's going to be people that'll do that, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think if you really want people to tune in and get people to buy it, you're going to have a main star in AEW, like maybe even a Kenny saying, like, I'm actually going to be there, or like someone put in the chat, maybe Rich Swann calls out Kenny Omega on Impact. It's
I mean, yeah,
it's
the
interesting.
possibilities are great. And like, again, it's Thursday, maybe we start seeing something floating around Saturday afternoon, like, like maybe Kenny puts, a tweet out or something, and that's a great way to get people to pay for the pay-per-view as well. So
I don't even think he's going to appear on Impact. He mentioned like he's going to be a belt collector. They mentioned a lot of other companies. I wonder if they also mentioned AAA. I wonder if Kenny makes an appearance or shows up on New Japan Pro Wrestling, because in like basically a month, New Japan is having Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
Does he make an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom?
A lot of possibilities that could happen.
Like he's claiming he wants to be a belt collector. I don't think he means just Impact. We'll have to see where this goes. This is very, very intriguing stuff. It's very exciting. Can't wait to see what else happens, but we got to talk about the rest of Dynamite. Obviously, the big one was the whole like Sting thing. Like Sting last week, making his return to TNT in like over 18 years. Such a cool moment. And like they wasted no time in bringing him out this week. It was like as soon as Cody got out there, he grabbed the mic. The lights went off instantly. He didn't even get a word out, and then Sting came right out, and oh man, Sting was feeling it. And my God, Sting. He's got that veteran mic skill. You can tell he's not a rookie with the mic. Obviously, he's a veteran in this game, but he's so good when he has freedom of speech with the mic. And he came across really good. And he, the big thing when he mentioned Darby, some things stay the same, and he's like nodding to Darby in the rafters, basically the same thing that Sting used to do. So there is a tease there. So, again, I don't think he's going to wrestle. I honestly do not think he's going to wrestle. I'd be shocked if he does, but him hinting at Darby is huge. And then even with Darby's vignette, which was amazing this week, that was so good. With the psychiatrist showing him the pictures, obviously that was cool because we got to see who the number one contender now is for the TNT Championship. It's going to be Brian Cage, and he's calling out Brian Cage. But then at the end, when they showed him the Sting face, and he gave that big smirk, like not like a "I'm gonna kill you" like kind of smirk. That smirk, like okay, like this is my dude. I think there's gonna be a partnership there. I think Darby and Sting are gonna get put together. Like so far, all signs are pointing towards that.
We'll see. We'll see.
But what was the thing with Cody? What was that about? Like, I didn't know how to take that.
What, that he's been waiting for, Sting, and he kind of got like shut down? That's what you mean? Like,
sort of, but like,
but it's good. I'm glad, right? Because like, why not? Like, oh, I'm not ready for you yet.
But I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
well, you know what? Cody's not his business right now.
Yeah, he's
right?
Got to deal with Shaq.
Like, well, it's a whole other story. Cringeworthy.
That's the stuff that's the sound he makes though.
But
I don't know. I was like, okay, Cody, okay, Sting. That was just a whole really cool segment. It was so cool. I love how they're continuing the snow thing with Sting.
It's cool, and the music, and
Yeah.
we're always talking about it. Like the music,
that theme is bang
like,
on like fire. Like it's so good.
Really did find a perfect person when it came to him. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like he just puts on great music and it just like gets you really into it, and I love that. But we've been saying this for a long time about AEW, that there's so many great things about it. Like the vignettes are absolute, like get you really into it. The music gets you really into it. Like I always see Mike Ruckus like talking on Twitter with fans about his music. It's just amazing, and it's so nice.
Gotta get Mikey on the pod. We gotta talk to Mikey one of these days. Hopefully in the new year. We'll see what we can do, guys. We'll see if we can get Mikey on the pod. We gotta talk to him. I got a list of things I want to talk to him about. Hopefully that he can disclose with us and share with us, and we'll have a good time with him too. We're not gonna sit here and be like, "Tell us about your life, Mikey." Oh, what else did you do, Mikey?
This is your life.
This is your life, Mikey. Let us know. Let's open your resume here. Okay. No, we're not gonna do something like that. That's stupid. We ain't a formulaic podcast, as you can tell. We're all over the place.
We really are.
That's what makes us good, though, Tiff.
Oh, does it? I thought it was.
I don't know. We have like the 5 people that listen to us, so it's they think it's pretty cool.
I don't know. I thought it was because I was just yelling at you for the first like 10 minutes of this episode. Really?
Whatever, man. It is what it is.
Oh my god! Can we please talk about the Young Bucks with TH2?
Okay, like, yeah, that was a really good match.
The chemistry of it, like I love that they opened up AEW.
Okay, that was like, a pay-per-view level match though. Like,
but we knew that. We knew we were gonna get. Like,
I didn't know that. I thought we were gonna get like a normal 10-15 minute match. Just gonna be like, okay, it was a great match, good opener, but that was pay-per-view level. Like,
I feel like
the title should have been on the line.
I feel like it's very hard for tag teams to have a bad match with the Young Bucks, especially if it's.
You can tone it down though.
But why?
They're skilled enough that they can tone it down. I mean, like that match right there. That's like if these two teams had a title match, say in the next pay-per-view, what else are you going to give us that we didn't see in that match?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. You need to see more if it's going to be for the titles.
So we're supposed to get boring Dynamites? Like you?
I'm not saying it's going to be boring, but you can have a good match without making it, pay-per-view level. Because
wow, you're like a snob. I really enjoyed this match.
I'm not saying I didn't. Did you not hear what I said in the beginning?
Stop yelling at me.
No, you yell at me. This is my turn.
No,
this is my turn.
No, it's different. You're being a butthead.
No, I'm not. You're just taking in what I say one ear and out the other. I said it was a great match. I said in the beginning it was a great match. I loved it. It was amazing. It was pay-per-view quality. I have the problem with giving away a pay-per-view quality match like that if it's not for the titles. Because then you're kind of like upping the bar to a point where when you're gonna have that title match, people are gonna expect more than what they just seen. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here?
Maybe. So you don't think that they could top that?
If those two had a rematch for the title, they could not.
Really?
They put it all out on the line on this match. They did so much crap in this match where I'm like, okay, like this, I felt like I was watching a pay-per-view.
I don't know. Like, I'm okay with, like, sometimes those are the best matches that get me totally excited to, like, see it again. Like, I mean, here, like, I will always talk about the Young Bucks and Private Party, and I seen it at House of Glory, and it was so great. And then it was like when we finally got it on Dynamite, it was even, like, better. It was so much better. Like, it was such a great chemistry, and sometimes you just have that great chemistry, and like this was a great way to open up Dynamite. And yeah, I mean, me personally, I think you can top it. I think
if they can top that, book it for the next pay-per-view then. Like, book it right now. Like, have a 3-month feud, like storylines and everything. Book this match for the next pay-per-view because I'll pay, like, right now. I'll pay for Revolution right now if that's going to be on the card.
Well, look about it, like even like the Lucha Brothers, right? Like the Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks had like they always have great matches, and then we had this like crazy match at All Out. The ladder match, it was so insane. Like I really do think, like I really feel like TH2 is that good, and just the chemistry alone, like yeah, I think that they can do it all over again.
If this didn't show people who didn't believe in them, like anything, then I don't know what's going to. Because if people are on the edge about liking TH2. or trying to figure out like how good they are, this match should have done it for you. Like this was it. They were matched up perfectly with the perfect team to make them look incredible. This was the match, and it did it. It did it for me. It did it for you. It did it for everybody. It was an insane opening to Dynamite, and they played into the whole the Acclaim thing, and SCU coming out was random as hell.
Let's think about this too, okay? There's a lot of people that don't watch Dark. Okay, sometimes I can't watch Dark because I got so much stuff going on, right? So example, TH2 we haven't really seen on TV too much, and most of the time we don't see them on a pay-per-view, right? So I feel like this is a great way like to showcase TH2, and they had this great match. And like I said, I really do believe that if you can't have a great match with the Young Bucks, that's on you. And like you just said, like you don't think that they could do this in like a pay-per-view match again. I really do think
I didn't say that. I said they can do it. I said that can they top it?
I think they can top
it. Pay-per-view match.
I definitely think that they can top it.
Yeah, that you're putting that up a stiff competition against what we saw between Kenny and Hangman and the Young Bucks earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Because that was incredible. That's still to this day like the best tag team match I've ever seen.
So like what happens if we get like another style of the Young Bucks and TH2 in another ladder match? Like we have like there, you don't think that could be
this feud continuing, or is like TH2 going with the SCU for whatever reason?
I mean, it probably won't, but like, okay, we're like I said, we're just like imagining, okay, like there's pay-per-view again.
Imagination.
Like, we're taking way too long about arguing about the possibility of them. Yeah,
that's what you do on a podcast. You discuss. That's what I tweet about. We discuss and analyze. That's what we do.
We yell at each other on Twitter.
That's discussion and
analysis. But seriously. But yeah, guys, let us know in the chat what you guys are thinking. So, people are saying book it in the chat. They can between Escalar and the Murta like that.
Escalada de la Morte. I can roll on my tongue. Escalada de la Morte. And you're Puerto Rican. How can you not do it?
And like
I'm zero. So you know what you get, Tiff? Shame. Shame. Okay, shame. Shame on you.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's talk about Shaq Daddy.
Oh, Shaq Daddy.
Shaq Daddy. That's still in my head. It's not gonna leave. Okay. That and whatever. What was that stupid commercial? What was it called?
Yeah, I'm dead.
It wasn't called Shaq. Remember there was that commercial I was ranting about a couple weeks ago. Something Daddy. Remember? It was like Box Daddy or something like that. It was like a toolbox, but it had the word Daddy in it.
What?
You don't remember? Okay, well, never mind. I'll go back and find it.
I remember Fry Daddy. I remember we talked about.
Was that it? Was it Fry Daddy? No, but there was like a toolbox.
No, but I was talking about the fryer, and you were like, "What the hell?" And then we were there. I was like, "There was baby dad, there was a baby fryer, and like Fry Daddy or Fry Baby." And
anyway, Shaq Daddy. So I was wondering what the hell they're going on with Shaq with AEW, and it was a sit down with him and Brandy. Brandy, obviously with the sling, and like Shaq was like being nice at first, and then he decided he was being a dick, and he like, told Brandy at the end, like, go watch Jade Cargill with some tips. Oh, and I guess Brandy just has like a short fuse now. Is she like just the girl that has short fuses about everything? Because she just turned around and went full on like crazy mode on him and grabbed poor Tony Schiavone's water and like dosed Shaq. And people are so quick. Like people like stilled that picture and like made it into a meme. And I saw like millions of memes for that Shaq picture.
God, Gene said in chat, no Shaq Dad.
No Shaq Dad? Is that what his name is? Or is he saying like, you don't want me to say Shaq Daddy?
I think the show you were talking about.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah. It wasn't a show. It was a toolbox.
I don't know. Like, okay, so like then we get the whole clip with the women's like fighting in the back, and they go after Red.
That was just like, I was like, what is happening here?
I was like, this is too much. Like,
why does everything have to end in a brawl with everybody? Why can't you just stick to like 2 people? Why does like 8 people have to come into it every time?
But you know, AEW is all about like the 10 on 10.
They have an infatuation with multi-people everything. Brawls, matches, anything you can fit like half the roster in, throw it out there. It's like, we'll get you on TV. You can be part of this brawl for no reason at all.
Probably figured like, hey, you know, like you guys are complaining that we don't give any time to like the women's division here.
Did you see them in the brawl? We gave them TV time. They were front and center. You could see their back, and that's about it.
God.
Oh God. Anyways, it was a mess. The whole Jade Cargill thing's a mess. Like this is another thing. It seems like everything that Brandy wants to do with her just goes into like a train wreck eventually. Like it just you just think about. No, I'm not trying to diss Brandy here. Okay, like don't take this anybody as like I'm trying to diss what Brandy's doing here. I'm just saying her track record is not so good. With her, like her current feuds and stuff. You remember the whole Nightmare Collective? You know that was a thing. Right. You know, it's just it's tough. It's almost like she's having trouble figuring out her own feuds and to make them look good. You know, Shaq is a good draw. I mean, like he's eyes on social media. He's eyes in the sporting world. He's eyes like it's free publicity, to be honest. And he's part of TNT. So, you know, if you can use Shaq, use Shaq. I mean, they're using Snoop Dogg on that second themed New Year, what are they calling it? The New Year Smash AEW theme nights. And he's going to be on commentary, like Snoop Dogg on commentary. Like, people are going to tune in because this guy, Snoop Dogg's shown lately on sports commentary, whatever commentary, that he's hilarious. Like, people tune in just to hear how he's going to say things. That episode of Dynamite, I guarantee you, Tiff, will draw over 1 million views. It will draw over 1 million views.
So are we going to see like Martha Stewart too? Because like if they both together.
We have our own cooking show on Dynamite. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dynamite Cooking Show. I'm Martha Stewart.
Oh, maybe they can teach Brandy how to cook and use some seasoning.
Oh! Oh! Yikes. Shots fired. Wow. Tiff, you're never going to be in a shot of Brandy now. Okay, you can just cut ties with that. You ain't been on that show. She's going to watch this and she's going to be like, okay, where's my notepad?
Okay, because I know how to cook.
Oh, stop throwing shots. You're going to get water in your face just like Shaq. Yikes. Was that? Oh, I just got a text from Brandy. She wanted me to do this. Sorry, I had to. Gotta listen to the chief brand officer. She wants me to do something. I gotta do it.
Oh, God, I can't. I'm done.
Anywho, yeah, we'll see what happens. He's gonna be at ringside, Shaq, with Cargill, right. And Cargill's gonna face Brandy, I guess, and Cody's gonna be there. I don't know. It's just all right. It is what it is.
Let's talk about this. All right. So, like, where do you want to go? There was like so much going on last night.
Okay, I have to. We can talk about it very quickly. Two main points here, very quick. Hook, I guess now is part of Team Taz, which is cool. Looks like they're incorporating Taz's son on TV, which is really cool for Taz. If you think about it, he's a dad. His son wants to get into wrestling, follow in his footsteps. His dad becomes a part of this big new company called AEW. What better way than to come in and, get your shot right away? And look at that. He's already appearing on TV. This is like the third time he's appeared on TV. Right. So I thought that's pretty cool. I could get with the Varsity Blondes. I was weird when I first seen the matchup at first. I was like, okay, maybe I have been keeping up with Dark. I've been missing this. But Pillman and Griff have really good chemistry.
They showcased really good in that match yesterday.
They had a very good match with FTR. One note, if you're going to be called the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman, you got to be blonde, bro. Like, you can't be brunette out there and be the Varsity Blondes.
Dirty blonde.
He's brunette. Go look. He has full-on brown hair. There's no streaks anymore. Bro, you got to get some blonde in there if you're going to be called the Varsity Blondes. I'm just saying.
Bleach your hair, okay? So
he's got to bleach because I remember last year, last year, the first ever Double or Nothing, he was like beach blonde. Like, two, like, you couldn't see any brown. I see a lot of brown hair this week. It's got to be done. Anyways, I like them. Really, really big fan of them. Inner Circle had their like ultimatum. It was kind of like meh. You know what I mean? This is where I brought up like the fake crowd noise. They were implementing a lot of fake crowd noise in parts where they were talking like, hey, that really wasn't anything special.
Right.
They said that, like, Jericho mentioned that, like, Santana he was so mad about it, he stayed home. I don't know if he's hurt or he's got COVID. I don't know what's going on with that. But he wasn't there. I don't know. The whole segment was all right. I was like, that really wasn't crazy. And I tweet about it. I kind of feel like Inner Circle's losing steam. Like, they're losing a lot of steam and losing a lot of my attention on them. Like, nothing's drawing me to them. Like, when they first started AEW, big team. Like, they were the big team on campus. They meant a lot. Now it's kind of like they're getting lost in the shuffle. Like, right. They're not as the big Inner Circle team that they were, and I don't know what's missing.
Well, I'm sure they're going to wind up breaking up eventually, soon. They need to break up.
Well, I mean, you should have done it by now.
I need LAX. I need my LAX. I need them to be very strong hitter in the tag team division. I mean, like, why haven't we had that?
I know because they were probably getting it close because of what Sammy said, saying, like, the next out of line thing you do, MJF, I'm out of here.
I feel like it's gonna slowly bust up. I feel like, but I need Proud and Powerful to I say LAX because I go back to the Indies, but yeah, I need Proud and Powerful, like, very strong in the tag team division.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't gonna break up, put the tag titles on them or something. Like, they gotta have something for me to pay attention and for me to like them. Yeah. Do something. Like,
their thing, and like the way that it is like Dark Order is like growing now, and that's like the big interesting thing right now.
Yeah, they've taken the spot of Inner Circle as #1 faction in AEW.
And I feel like they've taken over on BTE as well, because I was telling Kyle, it was like, the episodes really aren't like what it used to be.
Yeah, like this week I got so lost. I'm like, why did they play Uno for like 25 minutes? I'm like, what is going on here? And like, do like a quick 2-minute Uno bit and then cut it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to see all that. I missed like a whole bunch of things. I just miss like a lot of the old BTE, and you don't really need like 25 minutes of BTE if like you're just like forcing footage. Like, you can go back to that old school classic BTE of like episodes or 15-minute episodes. Like, it was starting to get a little crazy, like 30-minute episodes, and it's like, oh my god, more stuff I need to watch for like the podcast. Yeah. Like, fine with like 10-minute segments on YouTube.
To be honest, I don't think people are tuning in to let us just talk about BTE. Yeah. I mean, we add that as a bonus, but people want to hear us discuss and analyze about Dynamite and sometimes Dark when we can catch it. Yeah, everything mainly happens on Dynamite anyways. But like, yeah, BT's turned into like, all right, guys, you're getting carried away. Like, it was getting, it was funny. Like, you guys had something and you kind of swayed away from it a little bit. Anyways, yeah, Dark Order. I mean, they also had a match with Dustin. Okay, that was funny because if anyone knows the story behind Dustin Rhodes and WCW, then you got everything right off the bat. I know people caught it right away. People were laughing right away. After the match, they offered Dustin to be. Sorry, I get it because that's making me laugh. They offered Dustin to be number 7. And if anybody remembers late WCW, where they made Dustin come out as a gimmick called 7, and there's that picture of him in like a white face, like everything white, and like an Undertaker getup, like the cowboy hat and like the long leather jacket, and then he cut that infamous promo in the ring saying like, like, the company wanted me to do this shit and I don't want to be this, and so I found that really funny that they wanted him to be 7 in the Dark Order. Oh, that was good. It was good. It was funny. But yeah, Dark Order, every time they come out, they zoom in on your boy Johnny Hungy, like doing the flex with the oh.
I love it. I really do need to buy the shirt.
God. But yeah, I thought that was great. That was perfect for the WCW old school guys that got that right off the bat. Like, it was funny. I knew right away. See, it took me I'll admit it took me a little bit. It took me like 15 seconds. I'm like 7, and then I could hear like laughter, and I'm like, hey, why is that funny? I'm like, oh wait, he was 7 in WCW. Oh yeah, that was good. Other than that, I mean,
I like that. I like the little vignette about being interviewed, Hangman Page, and then all of a sudden John Silver out with the cowboy hats. Like, I love
their money, man.
They really are. I told you.
Can you imagine if there was crowd? Do you remember? You remember? Obviously, we were both watching WWE back then. Remember when Daniel Bryan, like the Yes thing, first started to take off, like the Yes movement? That's how like Daniel Bryan got over on his own. If there was crowd, man, Johnny. I keep wanting to say Johnny Hungy, but it's really
John Silver.
John Silver. Okay, don't make me say Hungy anymore. John Silver. He'd be over as shit right now. I mean, he may be over right now with the Twitter crowd, and he is over with the Twitter crowd. But imagine if there was full crowd and they are traveling, how much the reaction would be intense. Like, it would be crazy.
I knew like this kid was money back then. You know, I always enjoyed him in the indie scene. So I'm so glad like he's finally getting over on AEW. It's so great. It's just, you know, I really feel again when it's like someone that I saw in the indie scene so much and to like move up to a higher company and it's just great. So, but give me Johnny Hungy.
Johnny Hungy. Anyways, so yeah, they ended off Dynamite 2 with the ring, the match for the ring. I thought it was a pretty good match with MJF and Orange Cassidy. I know there was a lot going on. Again, it was another thing where like they got to stop with everything going on. Then like I think what everyone thinks we're talking about is like when they came back from commercial break, there's just randomly like 8 people at ringside. I'm like, where do these people come from? Why is Cutler out here? And they all brawled with each other. And I'm like, what is happening? Are we going to get a lumberjack match now next week?
Probably. Probably. So we're Trent versus Miro. Like, or are we going to get a tag team? Like finally, like
what about Miro with that Versace?
Are we like stretching this to, you know, the pay-per-view? Like, what is going on here? Like, are we going to get this on Dynamite or is this being stretched?
I have no idea. I don't know. I was so confused. What was going on. There's so much happening. I was like, how do I remember this crap for the podcast? Like, all I remember is Miro's Versace jacket was just like standing out between everything. He dyed his hair more blonde, which is great.
Cassidy.
God. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like Miro, Orange Cassidy, and then Miro and Trent against the Best Friends. I don't know what the whole ordeal is going on there, but MJF keeps that ring. I don't know how long they're gonna do that for, but
I was talking about it. Metal's in the chat. Me and Metal were talking about it earlier, and like I said it last week on the podcast. Like as much as a fan as I am for Orange Cassidy does not need the ring. He doesn't need it. Like, yeah, I love it. And
he also doesn't need to be on TV every week. I think we're losing the essence of what Orange Cassidy is.
No way, absolutely not. Not for me. I love it, but
I thought he was more he was more of a special attraction when he didn't wrestle all the time, and then eventually when he got a match, it was a big thing.
Well, I think it was a big thing because, like I said, I think, you know, because of that comedy, and there's a lot of people that like him, and there's a lot of people that don't like him, you know, so I get that aspect. Even Tony Khan wasn't really like a fan, and they kept pushing him, and that's why he wound up getting signed. They're like, all right, we're gonna put him with Best Friends, and then they saw like how over Orange Cassidy got with like AEW, so he is like this huge thing. But again,
they need to do that though. They need to
he doesn't need it. But also, like I always talk about this on the podcast, like Orange Cassidy can actually really, really wrestle.
Yeah, that's fine, but his character garners him to be, you know, make a little bit more of an attraction.
That's why I said he doesn't need the ring. That's why I feel like MJF.
The ring thing, yeah, I could agree with that all day. Like him in a ring just doesn't look good. I thought in general though, Orange Cassidy, if he was to manage more and have a match, maybe like not have a match until the next pay-per-view, I'd be okay with that, because then it's an attraction. Like you've been seeing him at ringside all this time, and then someone goes after him, and it's like, okay, maybe Orange Cassidy's gonna have a match with this guy. And then at the pay-per-view, you know, there's been that gap since he's wrestled last, and it's more of an attraction.
Well, maybe they just feel like that he's just so over with the fans that they, you know, at the same time too, they are listening to the fans, and a lot of fans are liking him. So maybe that has to do with it too.
Well, they're lucky right now that they're in one place. I bet it would be a lot different if they were traveling right now. I don't think you would have the same reaction.
I think a lot of things would be different, obviously, if they were traveling around and we were able to go to these shows. And, you know, a lot of things are stuck. And
fingers crossed with what's going on in the news, the vaccine. Hopefully that's 2021.
The only other thing we didn't talk about is that I'm still confused with the whole Archer thing, and that why wasn't
Pac? I really was going to skip that because I don't know why Lance Archer is in that. Where the hell is Pac? What is happening?
I am confused about that. I would really like, again, like, why are we I feel like that's another thing too. We're saving Pac and Eddie Kingston, and I don't know. So
Why
I
wasn't
was
Pac there?
yeah,
There
I'm
was no
just
explanation or anything. It's just he wasn't there.
confusing to me. So I mean, we don't really need to go to that match. I mean, that was the only thing that I wanted to bring up with that is
It's
that
confusing. I'm confused too. I don't know what to even talk about with that. It's like
I
Lance
don't.
Archer's there. Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like Archer doesn't really need to be put into something like
No,
this.
he doesn't.
That good on singles that you can build a feud with somebody with him.
You have him coming out here with Jake Roberts, who looked like he's going through like a midlife crisis with his attire. I don't know what the hell he was wearing. He goes from wearing leather jacket and jeans, which was fine, to whatever the hell that was this week.
Yeah, it was just like I said. It was just
boy,
that's really like bad thing, like But I mean, I love seeing Archer. It's just why, like in that, for instance, for me. But other than that, I mean, like yes, I think AEW, like okay, yeah, it was like their best episode, but like I enjoyed it. It was a good episode.
Next week looks intriguing. I mean, there's one thing next week I'm probably not going to look forward to is the 7-on-7 match, which, yikes, why do we have to have 7-on-7? But yeah, December's been a really big month so far for AEW Dynamite, so it's only going to get bigger with all the announcements that they're doing. Obviously, like we're having the theme, we're having a two-nighter Dynamite again, so we're having the last Wednesday of December being the first night of New Year's Smash, and then the week after is part 2. The December 23rd episode is going to be a taped episode, and it's going to be shown at 10 o'clock, which sucks. But 10 p.m. it'll be shown on there, and it's going to be taped. I believe they're taping it the week before. So next week they're going to show live Dynamite, and they're going to tape the second week next week, and they're giving all the wrestlers the week off for Christmas, which is awesome.
That shows a lot. That's great.
Got a question in the chat. Are you guys doing a best of 2020 show? I don't know. Good question. I don't know, Tiff. We'll talk. Me and Tiff will talk about that, and then we'll let you guys know if we do. We did it last year, I remember.
2020 show of like AEW?
Yeah, remember last year when we did it?
I don't remember. I do so many episodes on the network.
I know we did it, but we did an episode last year. Like it was like the best of, like what we thought our best match was, who I thought our superstar of the year was, moment of the year.
That guy and that guy
or girl.
That person.
Thank you. Be politically correct here, please. Sorry. We are the All Elite Politically Correct Podcast. APP. AEPP.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Anywho. Yeah.
Abaddon wins everything.
No, we're moving on. We're cutting the episode. We're ending this. We're not talking about Abaddon.
Okay, we're ending it because I gotta go. Okay. But yeah.
Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you are hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Helps us a lot. Thank you for downloading the episode. Make sure you guys are leaving us a 5-star rating on Apple. Seems to be our biggest platform, and a comment down there too. It helps us in the chartable side of things. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for rewatching. Everything helps, guys. Thank you so much, you guys. As love and support means the world to us. If you guys want to keep supporting us, you can support the No Holds Barred Network. We have a Patreon page, so just head on over to the Twitter account at NHB Network. You'll click the link tree. You'll find the Patreon on there. As little as $1 a month will help support the network in a lot of ways. It goes towards our posting our podcasts everywhere. It goes back right into the podcast. A lot of things that we pay for. It also provides you guys with content. Me and Tiff are starting a free-for-all on there. We're probably going to record another episode soon where me and Tiff just kind of ramble about anything in life. There's no holds barred, pun intended. It's just raw. It's just craziness. And then again, I have started a new job lately. I've been trying to get gaming content recorded for it. So I'm going to try my best, hopefully, to pump out some stuff on there as well. So again, just stay with us and bear with us as we continue to grow. So thank you very much to all who have done that. That's going to wrap it up, guys. I am your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host, she the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, and the Queen of Christmas. That is Tiffany. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for watching the All Elite Podcast right here in the No Holds Barred Network. And as always, goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang.